this video, we're going to talk about how to graph points on the coordinate plane. So I've got 6 points here we're going to graph, and we'll talk about how to do this, what all the numbers mean and where they go. And so over on the right here, this is called the coordinate plane. The side to side, this dark one, this is called the x-axis, and then the up and down dark one is called the y-axis. And so where they meet, this is called the origin. Origin. And that point is called 0, 0. So you didn't move over at all to the right, you didn't move up at all, so it's 0, 0. That's called the origin. And so what we're going to do is we're going to graph these other points, and you're always going to start at the origin, and then the numbers in the points tell you how far to move. So I'm going to erase this so it's out of our way, get rid of that origin. Maybe I'll call that, instead of writing the word origin, I'll just put an O there for origin. And so if we look over at these points over here, 2, 5 would be our first point. It's always x is the first number, and then y is the second number. And so the first number tells you to go left or right. The second number tells you to go up or down. So the 2 tells me I'm going to go to the right 2. That's an R. And then 5 tells me I'm going to go up 5. So I go over 2 to the right, 1, 2, and I start at the origin. And then I go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's going to be where I make my dot. And so that is point A. I'll just put an A there. So the 2 tells me go to the right 2. The 5 told me to go up 5, so there's my point. For point B, we'll do that one in yellow. This is going to tell me go to the right 0, and then the 3 tells me go up 3. So we're going over 0 from the origin. We're going to start right there, and then we're going to go up 3. So point B is going to be right there. It's just up 3 from the origin. Okay, let's look at the next one. If you feel like you got the hang of it, maybe you would be wise to pause right now and then try to graph the other points on a piece of graph paper and see if you get them right. So for C, if we have -3, that means we're going to move to the left 3. So whenever you have a negative, that moves it to the left. Whenever you have a positive, it moves to the right. And so maybe I could write that down. Left would be negative, positive would be right. Up would be positive, down would be negative. Okay, and then 4 is up. So we go -3, we're going to start at the origin. We're going to go back 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my next point. I'll call that one C. So if you notice, I went back 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to get rid of those swirls just so they're not in my way for graphing the other points. We'll just leave the one on A so you can see that. All right, the next one, we're going to go left 7, down 2. So back 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, down 2. There's my next point. That's D. And let's graph E. We'll do that one with orange. 5 tells me I'm going to move to the right because it's positive. And then we're going to move down 4. So let's do that. 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that point, E. And then our last one we'll do in white. Now let's do red. 6, 0. So this tells me I'm going to move to the right 6. And then we're going to move up 0. So to the right 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 0, there's our point F, right, on the x-axis. So B is on the y-axis, F is on the x-axis. So just a refresher, this whole grid is called the coordinate plane. The horizontal line is the x-axis, the vertical line is the y-axis. If you have a positive, it ends up in this quadrant. If you have a negative positive, it would end up in the second quadrant, we call that. If both numbers are negative, they end up in the third quadrant, we call that. And then if the first number, if the x is positive and the y is negative, it ends up in this fourth quadrant. All right, so that's how to graph points on the coordinate plane.